Hello and welcome to the Troupe's production of The Tempest by William Shakespeare. This show is in the public domain, so photography and videography are permitted during this performance. This production will be recorded, so please be kind to our cast and videographers by refraining from filming video and flash photography. Please take this time to silence all electronic devices. This show is comprised of 5 acts, and there will be a 10-minute intermission after Act 2. And now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Boatswain!
Here, master, what cheer?
Good. Speak to the mariners. Hold to it yearly, or we run ourselves aground. Best sir, best sir.
My hearts, cheerly, my hearts, yar, take in the topsail, tend the master's whistle, blow till I burst thy wind, if room enough.
Good boatswain, have care. Where's the master? Play the men.
I pray now, keep below.
Where is the master, boatswain?
Do you not hear him? You mar our labor. Keep to your cabins. You do assist the storm.
Nay, good. Be patient.
When a sea is hence, what cares these roars for the name of the king? To cabin, silence, trouble us not.
Good. Yet remember whom thou hast aboard.
None that I love more than myself. You are a counselor. If you can command these elements to silence and bring peace to the present moment, we will not hand you a rope more. Use your authority. If you cannot, give thanks you have lived so long and make yourself ready in your cabin for the mischance of the hour, if it so hap. Cheerly good, out of our way, I say.
I have great comfort from this fellow. Methinks he hath no drowning mark upon him. His complexion is perfect gallows. Stand fast, good fate, to his hanging. Make the rope of his destiny our cable, for our own doth little advantage. If he be not born to be hanged, our case is miserable.
Lower! Set her to try with the main course.
Oh.
A plague upon this howling! They are louder than our weather office. Yet again? What are you doing here? Do you have a mind to drown? Do you wish to sink?
A pox on your throat, you bullying, blasphemous, incharitable dog!
Work you then!
Hang, cur! Hang, you horse-eyed intellect noisemaker! We are less afraid to be drowned than thou art. Blech.
Lay her a hold! Set her 2 courses, off to sea again! Lay her a hold!
I lost! To press! To press! I lost!
What must our mouths be called?
The king and prince at prayers. Let us assist them, for their case is as ours.
I am out of patience!
We are merely cheated of our lives by drunkards. This wide-chopped rascal would thou mightst lie drowning the washing of 10 tides!
He'll be hanged yet, though every drop of water swear against it, and gape at wits to blot him.
The honors! We split! Farewell, my wife and children! We split!
Let's all sink with the king!
Let us take leave of him!
I would give 1,000 furlongs of sea for an acre of barren ground. I would give anything, long heath, brown furs. The wills above be done, but I would fain die a dry death.
If by your art, my dearest father, you have put the wild waters in this roar, allay them. The sky, it seems, would pour down stinking pitch, but that the sea, mounting to the welkin's cheek, dashes the fire out. Oh, I have suffered with those I saw suffer. A brave vessel, who had no doubt some noble creature in her, dashed all to pieces. The cry did knock against my very heart. Poor souls, they perished. Had I been any god of power, I would have sunk the sea within the earth, or ere it should the good ship so have swallowed, and all the fraughting souls within her.
Be collected, no more amazement. Tell thy piteous heart there's no harm done.
Oh, woe the day!
No harm. I have done nothing but in care of thee, my dear one, thee, my daughter, who art ignorant of what thou art, not knowing of whence I am, nor that I am more better than Prospero, master of a full porcel, and thy no greater father.
More to know did never meddle with my thoughts.
'Tis time I should inform thee farther. Lend thy hand and pluck my magic garment from me. So, lie there, my art. Wipe thou thine eyes, have comfort. A direful spectacle of the rack which touched the very virtue of compassion in thee, I have so safely ordered it that there is no soul, and not so much a perdition as in hair, but to any creature on that vessel which thou heardest cry, which thou sawest sink. Sit down, for thou must now know farther.
You have often begun to tell me what I am, but stopped and left me at a bootless inquisition, concluding, stay, not yet.
The hours now come. The very minute bids thee ope thine ear, obey and be attentive. Canst thou remember a time before we came into this island? Do not think thou canst, for thou wast not yet 3 years old.
Certainly, sir, I do.
By what? By any house or person? Or anything tell me the image that hath kept within thy mind?
'Tis far off, and rather like a dream than an assurance that my remembrance warrants. Had I not 4 or 5 women once that tended me?
Yes, thou hadst, and more, Miranda. But how is it that this lives within thy mind? What sayest thou else in the dark, backward and abysm of time? If thou rememberest aught ere thou camest here, how thou camest here thou mayest.
But that I do not.
12 years since, Miranda, 12 years since, thy father was Duke of Milan and a prince of power.
Sir, are not you my father?
But thy mother was a piece of virtue, and she swore thou wast my daughter. And thy father was the Duke of Milan, and his only heir, a princess no worse issued.
Oh, the heavens! What foul play had we that we came from thence? Or blessed was it we did?
Both, my dear girl. By foul play, as thou sayest, were we heaved hence, but blessedly helped hither.
Oh, my heart bleeds to think of the teen that I've turned you to, which is from my remembrance. Please you farther.
My brother and thy uncle, called Antonio, I pray thee mark me that our brother should be so perfidious. He who next thyself of all the world I loved. To him I put the manage of my state, as at that time through all signories it was the first. And Prospero, the prime duke, being so reputed in dignity to the liberal arts without a parallel. These being all my study, the government I cast upon my brother, and to my state grew stranger, being transported in rack and secret studies. Thy false uncle, dost thou attend me?
Sir, most heedfully.
Being thus perfected how to grant suits, how to deny him who to advance, and who to trash for overtopping, new created those creatures that were mine, I say, or changed them, or else new formed them. They both the key of officer and office, like all hearts in the state, to what tune pleased his ear. That hid my princely trunk, and sucked my verdure out on it. Thou attendest not.
Good sir, I do.
I pray thee, mark me. I thus, neglecting worldly lust, all dedicated to closeness and the bettering of my mind with that which, but by being so retired, or prized all popular rate. And my false brother awaked an evil nature, and my trust, like a good parent, did beget in him a falsehood in its contrary as great as my trust was, which indeed had no limit, a confidence sans bound. He being thus lorded, not just with what my revenue yielded, but with what my power might else exact, like one who, having entered truth by the telling of it, is such a sinner of his memory to credit his own lie, did believe he was indeed the Duke, out of the substitution executing that word face of royalty with all a prerogative. Hence, his ambition of growing, dost thou hear?
Your tale, sir, would cure deafness.
To have no screen between the party you played and the party you played it for, he needs must be absolute Milan. Me, poor man. My library was dukedom large enough. Of temporal royalties he thinks me now incapable. Confederates, so dry was he for sway with the King of Naples, to do him homage, pay him tribute, direct his coronet to his crown, and bend the dukedom yet unbowed, alas, poor Milan, to most ignoble stooping.
Oh, the heavens!
Mark the condition and the event. Then tell me if this might be called a brother.
I should sin to think but nobly of my grandmother. Good whims have borne bad sons.
Now the condition. The King of Naples, being an enemy to me, inveterate, hearkens my brother's suit, which was in lieu of the premises of homage, I know not how much a tribute, to presently extirpate me and mine out of the dukedom, and confer fair Milan with all its honors on my brother, whereon a treacherous army levied 1 minute, fitted to the purpose, did Antonio open the gates of Milan, and in the dead of darkness they hurried thence me and thy crying self.
Alack for pity! I, not remembering how I cried out then, will cry it o'er again. It is a hint that reins my eyes to it.
Here a little farther, and bringing you to the situation that now is upon us, without the which the story were most impertinent.
Wherefore did they not that hour destroy us?
Well demanded, my dear girl, my tale provokes that question. Dear, they durst not. So great was the love my people bore me, nor set they a mark so bloody upon their business, but with colors fairer painted their foul ends. In brief, they hurried us aboard a bark, bore us some leagues to see where they had prepared a rotten carcass of a butt, no tackle, no sail, no mast, the very rats instinctively have quit it. The other hoist us to cry to the sea that roared back to us, the sigh to the winds whose pity, sighing back again, did us but loving wrong.
Alack! What trouble I was then to you?
Oh, a cherubim thou wast, that didst preserve me. Thou didst smile, infuse it with a fortitude from heaven, when I have decked the sea with drops full salt, under my burden groaned, which raised me a stomach to bear up against what should ensue.
How came we ashore?
By providence divine, some food we had, and some fresh water, that a noble Neapolitan, Gonzalo, out of his kindness, who being bachelor for that purpose, did give us with some rich linens, cloth, stuffs, and accessories, which since have steadied much. So out of his kindness, knowing I loved me my books, he furnished me with some volumes for an own library, which I prize above my dukedom.
Would I might but ever meet that man.
Now I arise, sit still and hear the last of our sea sorrow. Here to this island did we arrive, and here have I, thy schoolmaster, made thee better profit than princes can, that have time for vainer hours and tutors not so careful.
Heavens thank you for it. And now, I pray you, sir, for still 'tis beating in my heart, your reason for raising the sea storm.
No, thus far forth. By accident most strange, a bountiful fortune, now my dear lady hath mine enemies brought to this shore, and by my prescience I find my zenith doth depend upon a most auspicious star, whose influence, if I court not, my fortunes will ever after droop. Here, cease thy questions. Thou art inclined to sleep. 'Tis a good dullness, and give it way. I know thou canst not choose. Come, my servant, come. Approach my Ariel. I am ready now. Come.
Oh, heal, great master. Heal, grave sir. I come to answer thy best pleasure, be it to fly, to swim, to dive into the fire, to ride on the cold cloud, to thy strong beating task, Ariel and all his quality.
Hast thou, spirit, performed to point the tempest that I bade thee?
To every article, sir. I boarded the king's ship, first in the bowsprit, the deck, and every cabin I flamed amazement. Sometimes I divide and burn in many places. Vast the decks, the rigging, then meat and join. Jove's lightning, the precursors of the dreaded thunderclaps, were momentary and sight outrunning were not. The fire and brimstone of sulphurous crackling seemed a most mighty Neptune to besiege. His bold waves trembled and his dread trident shook.
That's my brave spirit, who was so firm, so constant, that this did not infect his reason.
Oh, not a soul but felt the fever of the mad and played some tricks of desperation. All but the mariners plunged into the foaming brine and quit the vessel. The king's son Ferdinand was the first that leapt, with hair upstanding now, like reeds, not hair, leapt, screaming, "Hell is empty and all the devils are here!"
That's my spirit. 'Twas not this nigh shore,
Close by, master.
but are they, Ariel, safe?
Oh, not a hair perished on their sustaining garments, not a blemish, but fresher than before, and as thou bids me, about the alien troops have I dispersed them. The king's son have I landed by himself in an odd angle of the isle, cooling the air with sighs, and his arms in his sad knot.
Of the kingship, the mariners say how thou hast disposed and all the rest of the fleet.
Oh, safely in harbour is the king's ship, where once thou callest me up at midnight to fetch dew from the still-vexed Bermuths. There she's hid, the mariners all under hatches stowed, who, with a charm drawn to their suffered labour, I have left asleep. As for the rest of the fleet, which I dispersed, they have met again upon the Mediterranean and are now bound safely home for Naples, supposing they saw the king's ship wrecked and his great person perished.
Ariel, the charge exactly is performed. But there's more work. What is the time of the day?
Past the mid-season.
At least 2 glasses. Ariel, the time twixt 6 and now must by us both be spent most judiciously.
Is the more toil? Since thou givest me pains, let me remind you what you promised me, which is not yet delivered.
How now? Moody? What is it thou canst demand?
My liberty!
Before the time be out? No more.
Sir, let me remind you, I have done you good service, served without grouch or grumblings, told no lies, made no mistakings. You promised to bait me a full year.
Dost thou forget from what a torment I did free thee?
I do not, sir.
Thou dost, and thinkst it much to tread upon the ooze of the salt deep, to fly upon the sharp wind of the north, to do me business in the veins of the earth when it is caked in frost.
I don't, sir.
Thou dost. Hast thou forgotten Sycorax, who with age and envy was grown into a hoop? Hast thou forgotten her?
No, sir.
Thou hast. Where was she born? Say, speak.
Sir,
Tell me.
nausea, sir.
Oh, was she so? I must once in a month recount to you what you have been, which thou forgettest. This damned witch Sycorax, for mischiefs manifold and sorcery terrible to enter human hearing, from Argier, thou knowest, was banished. For one thing she did, they would not take her life. Is not that true?
Yes, sir.
This blade hag was hither brought with child and left here by the mariners. Thou wast able, thou reports thyself was then her servant. For that thou wast too weak to act her earthly and abhorred commands, refusing her grand hest, she did confine thee with help of her more potent ministers in her most unmitigable rage into a cloven pine, within which space imprisoned thou didst painfully remain a dozen years. Within which time she died, and left thee there. Thou didst bend thy groans as fast as mill wheels strike. And was this island, save for that son that she did litter here, a freckled whelp, hag-born, not honored with a human shape?
Yeah, Caliban, son.
Dull thing I say, so he that Caliban whom I now keep in my service. Thou best knowest what torment I did find thee in. Thy groans did make wolves howl and penetrate the breasts of ever angry bears. It was a torment to lay upon the damned, which Sycorax could not again undo. It was by mine art, when I arrived and heard thee, it made gape the pine and let thee out.
Thank thee, master.
If thou more murmurest, I will rend an oak, and peg its intro till thou hast howled away 12 winters.
Pardon, master. I will be correspondent till I command and do my spiriting gently.
Do so. After 2 days, I will discharge thee.
That's my noble master. Say, what shall I do? What?
Go, make thyself like a nymph of the sea. Be subject to no eye but mine and thine, invisible to every eyeball else. Go, but take the shape and hither a minute. Go, with diligence. Awake, my dear heart, thou hast slept well. Awake.
The strangeness of your story has put heaviness in me.
Shake it off. Come on. We'll go visit Caliban, my slave, who never yields us kind answer.
'Tis a villain, sir, who I do not love to look on.
Yes, but as his, we cannot miss him. He does fetch in our wood, make our fire, and serve other such offices that do profit us. What ho, slave Caliban, thou earth, thou speak.
There's wood enough within.
Come, there's other business for thee. Come, thou tortoise. When? Fine apparition, hark in thine ear.
My lord, it shall be done.
Thou poisonous slave, got by the devil himself upon thy wicked's dam, come forth.
As wicked do as are my mother brushed with raven's feather from unwholesome then drop on you both, assess with blood on you, and blister you all over.
For this, be sure, tonight thou shalt have cramps, stitches that shall pen thy breath up. Urchins shall go forth at fast at night, that they may work all exercise on thee. Thou shalt be pinched as thick as honeycomb, each pinch more stinging than the bees that made 'em.
I must eat my dinner. This island's mine by Sycorax, which thou takest from me. When thou camest first, thou strokest me, and made much of me, wouldst give me water with berries in it, and teach me how to name the bigger light, and how the less that burn by day and night. And then I loved thee, and showed thee all the qualities of the isle, the fresh springs, brine pits, barren and fertile. Cursed be that I did so. All the charms of Sycorax, toad, beetle, bat, light on you, for I am all the subjects that you have. And here you stye me in this hard rock, whilst you to keep me from the rest of the island.
Thou most lying slave, whom stripes may move, not kindness, I have used thee, filth as thou art, with humane care, and lodged thee in mine own cell, till thou didst seek to violate the honor of my child.
Would it had been done, thou didst prevent me. I had peopled else this isle with Calibans.
Abhorred slave, which any prince of goodness wilt not take, being capable of all ills. I pitied thee, took pains to make thee speak, taught thee each hour one thing or other, when thou didst not, savage, know thy own meaning, but wouldst gabble like a thing most brutish. I endowed thy purposes with words that gave them meaning. When thou didst learn, had that in it which good natures could not abide to be with. Therefore wast thou deservedly confined to this rock, who hadst deserved more than a prison.
You taught me language, and my profit on it is I know how to curse. The red plague rid ye for learning me your language.
Hagseed, hence, thou art best to answer other business. Shrugg'st thou, malice? If thou neglectest or dost unwillingly what I command, I will fill thy bones with aches, rack thee with old cramps, make thee roar that beasts shall tremble at thy din.
No, pray thee. I must obey. His art is of such power it would control my damned god Setebos and make a vassal of him.
So, slave, hence.
Come unto these yellow sands, and then take hands. Curtsied when you haven't kissed the wild waves list. So put it feebly here and there, and sweetest bright bear the burden. Hark, hark, I hear, woof, woof, the watchdogs bark. Hark, hark, I hear the strain of a strutting chanticleer cry.
Where should this music be?
in the air or the earth. It sounds no more, and sure, it waits upon some god of the island, sitting on a bank, weeping again the king my father's wrack. This music crept by me along the waters, allaying both their fury and my passion with its sweet air. Hence I have followed it, or it hath drawn me rather. It sounds no more.
For
now it begins again.
Thy father lies, of his bones a coral made. Those are pearls that wear his eyes. Nothing of him doth fade, but suffers a sea change into something new and strange. See nymphs already ring his knell. Hark, hark, I hear ding dong bell.
The ditty does remember my drowned father. This is no mortal sound, nor no music the earth owes. I hear it now above me.
The frigid curtains of thine eye advance, and say what thou seest yond.
What is it? A spirit? Lord, how it looks about. Believe me, sir, it carries a brave form, but 'tis a spirit.
No, my dear girl. It eats and sleeps and hath such senses as we have, such. This gallant whom thou seest was in the rack, and but he's something racked with grief. That's beauty's canker. You might just call him a goodly person. He hath lost his fellows and strays about to find them.
I might call him a thing divine, for nothing natural I ever saw so noble.
It goes on, I see, as my soul prompts it. Spirit, fine spirit, I'll set thee free for this.
Most sure, the goddess on whom these airs attend, vouchsafe my prayer. Know that if you remain upon this island, may some good instruction give how I may bear me here. My last request, which I do now pronounce is, oh, you wonder if you be a maid or no.
No wonder, sir, but certainly a maid.
My language, heavens! I am the best of them that speak this speech, where it is spoken.
How now, the best? What wert thou if the king of Naples heard thee?
A single thing as I am now, who wonders to hear thee speak of Naples. Myself am Naples, who with mine eyes at ebb beheld the king my father racked.
Alack for mercy!
Yes, faith and all his lords, the Duke of Milan and his son being twain.
The Duke of Milan, his more braver daughter, could control thee if now 'twere fit to do it. At the first sight they have changed eyes. A delicate, Ariel, I'll set thee free for this. A word, sir, I fear you've done yourself some wrong. A word.
Why speaks my father so ungently? This is the third man that e'er I saw, the first for which I e'er laid eyes on. Pity move my father to be inclined my way.
Oh, if a virgin in your affection be forthcoming, I'll make you the queen of Naples.
Soft, sir. Not one word more. They are both in each other's powers, but this swift business I must uneasy make, lest too light winning make the prize light. One word more, I charge thee that thou here attend me. Thou dost here usurp the name thou ownest not, and put thyself upon this island as a spy, to rid it from me, the Lord, on it.
No, as I am a man.
There's nothing ill can dwell in such a temple. If ill spirits have so fair a house, good things will strive to dwell with it.
Follow me. Speak not for him. He's a traitor. Come, I'll manacle thy neck and feet together. Sea water shalt thou drink. Thy food shall be the fresh brook mussels, withered roots, and husk from the acorn cradled. Follow.
No, I will resist such entertainment until mine enemy have more power.
Father, please, make not too rash a trial of him, for he's gentle and not fearful.
What? My foot? My tutor? Put thy sword up, traitor, who makes show, but darest not strike thy conscience is too possessed with guilt. Come from the word if I can hear, disarm thee with this stick, and make thy weapon drop.
Beseech thee, Father.
Hence! Hang not on my garments.
Father, please, I'll be his surety.
Silence. One word more shall make me chide thee, if not hate thee. An advocate for an impostor? Hush. Thou thinkst there are no more such shapes as he, having seen but him and Caliban. Foolish wench. To the most of men, this is a Caliban, and they to him are angels.
My affections are then most humble. I have no ambition to see a goodlier man.
Come on then, obey. The nerves are in their infancy again and have no power in them.
So they are. My spirits as in a dream are all bound up. The death of my father, the wrack of all my friends, nor this man's threats to whom I am subdued, are but light to me. Might I through my prison once a day behold this maid, all corners else of the earth make room. Space have I in such a prison.
It works. Come on, thou hast done well. Fine, Ariel. Follow me. Hark what else thou shalt do for me.
Be of comfort, sir. My father is of a better nature, sir, than he appears by speech. This is unwanted which now came from him.
Thou shalt be as free as mountain winds, but until then exactly do all points of my command.
To the syllable.
Come, follow. Speak not for him, he is a traitor. Come.
I beseech you, sir, be merry. You have cause, so have we all, of joy. For our escape is much beyond our loss. Our hint of woe is common. Every day some sailor's wife, the master of some merchant, and the merchant have just our theme of woe. But for the miracle, and I mean our preservation, few in millions can speak like us. Thus, wisely, good Lord, weigh our sorrow with our comfort. Prithee, peace.
He receives comfort like cold porridge.
The visitor will not give him over so.
Look, he's winding up the watch of his wit. By the by, it will strike
Sir,
1 tap.
when every grief is entertained that's offered comes to the entertainer,
$1.
dolor comes indeed. You have spoken truer than you have purposed.
You have taken it wiselier than I intended that you should.
Therefore, my lord,
Fie, what a spendthrift is he of his tongue!
prithee, spare. Well, I have done, yet
He will be talking.
Which of he or Adrian, for a good wager, first begins to crow?
The old cock.
The cockerel.
Done. The wager?
A laughter.
A match.
Although this island seems to be desert,
And so you're paid.
uninhabitable, and almost inaccessible,
Yet?
yet
He could not miss it.
it must needs be of a more delicate, subtle, tender temperance.
Temperance was a delicate wench.
Aye, and a subtle one, as he most learnedly delivered.
The air breathes upon us most sweetly here.
As if it had lungs and rotten ones.
Or as 'twere perfumed by a fen.
here is everything advantageous to life.
True. Save means to live.
Of that there is none, or very little.
Here is everything advantageous to life. How lush and lusty the grass looks, how green.
The ground indeed is tawny.
There is an eye of green in it.
He misses not much.
No, he but doth mistake the truth totally.
But the rarity of it is, which is almost beyond credit,
As many vouchsafed rarities are.
that our garments, being as they were, drenched in the sea, hold, notwithstanding their freshness and gloss, rather being newly dyed than drenched and stained with salt water.
If but one of his pockets could speak, would it not say he lies?
I very falsely pocket up his report.
Methinks our garments are now as fresh as when we first put them on in Afric at the marriage of the king's fair daughter, Claribel, to the king of Tunis.
It was a sweet marriage, and we prosper well in our return.
Tunis was never before graced with such a paragon as their queen.
Not since widow Dido's time.
Widow? Ha! A pox of that! How came that widow in? Widow Dido?
What if he had said, Widow Aeneas? Good Lord, how you take it?
Widow Dido, said you, sir? You make me study of that. She was of Carthage, not of Tunis.
This Tunis, sir, was Carthage.
Carthage?
I assure you, Carthage.
His word is more than the miraculous harp.
He has raised the walls and the houses too.
Which impossible matter will he make easy next?
I think he shall pluck up this island, put it in his pocket, take it home to his son, and give it him for an apple.
And sowing the kernels of it in the sea, bring forth more islands.
Aye.
Why, in good time.
Sir, we were just talking that our garments seem now as fresh as when we were in Tunis at the marriage of your daughter, who is now queen.
And the rarest that e'er came there.
Mate, I beseech thee, O widow Dido.
Oh, widow Dido, aye, widow Dido.
Is not my doublet as fresh as when I first wore it? I mean, in a sort.
That sort was very well fished for.
When I wore it at your daughter's marriage.
You cram these words into mine ears against the stomach of my sense. Would I had never married her there, for coming thence my son is lost, and at that rate she too, who is so far from Italy removed, I shall never see her again. Oh, thou mine heir of Naples and Milan, what strange fish hath made his meal of thee?
Sir, he may live. I saw him beat back the surges under him and ride upon their backs. He trod the water, whose enmity he flung aside, and even the most swollen waves could not keep him down. His bold head of the contentious waves he kept, and he oared himself toward shore in good lusty strokes. I not doubt he came alive to land.
No, he's gone.
You may thank yourself for this great loss, who would not bless our Europe with your daughter, but lose her to a foreigner. Well, at least she is banished from your eye. Who hath cause to wet the grief on it?
Prithee, peace.
You will kneel to an inopportune otherwise by all of us, and the fair soul herself weighed between loathness and obedience, or which end of the beam should bow. We have lost your son, I fear, forever. Milan and Naples have of this business more widows in it than we bring home men to comfort them. The fault's your own.
So is the dearest of the loss.
My lord Sebastian, the truth you speak doth lack some gentleness and time to speak it in. You rub the sore when you should bring the plaster.
Very well.
And most urgently.
It is foul weather in us all, good sir, when you are cloudy.
Foul weather?
Very foul.
Had I plantation of this isle, my lord?
He'd sow it with nettle seed.
Or docks or mallows.
And were the king on it, what would I do?
Escape being drunk for want of wine.
I would, by contraries, execute all things. For no kind of traffic would I admit, no name of magistrate, letters should not be known, riches, poverty, and use of service none, contract, succession, born, bound of land, tilled, vineyard, none. No occupation, all men idle, and women too, but innocent and pure. No sovereignty.
Yet he would be king on it.
The latter end of his commonwealth forgets the beginning.
Common nature should produce without sweat or endeavor, treason, felony, sword, pike, knife, gun, or need of any engine would I not have. Nature should of its own kind produce all foison, all abundance to feed my innocent people.
thou marrying among your subjects?
None, man, all idle whores and knaves.
I would, with such perfection, rule to excel the golden age.
God bless his majesty.
Long live Gonzalo.
Do you mark me, sir?
Prithee, no more. Thou dost talk nothing to me.
I do well believe, your highness, and I did such to administer occasion to these gentlemen, who are of such sensible and nimble lungs that they always use to laugh at nothing.
'Twas you we laughed at.
Who, in this kind of merry fooling, am still nothing to you, so you may continue and laugh at nothing still.
Oh, what a blow was there given!
I had not fallen flat long.
You are gentlemen of brave metal. You would lift the moon out of her sphere if she would continue in it 5 weeks without changing.
We would so too, and then go a butt-following.
Nay, good my lord, be not angry.
No, I'll warrant you. Will you laugh at me asleep? For I am very heavy.
Go sleep and hear us.
What, all so soon asleep? I wish mine eyes would, with themselves, shut up my thoughts. I find they are inclined to do so.
Do not omit the heavy off of it, sir, for it so rarely visits sorrow, and when it doth, it is a comforter.
We too, my lord, will guard your person while you take your rest and watch your safety.
Thank you, wondrous heavy.
What a strange drowsiness possesses them.
It is the quality of the climate.
Why doth it then not affect our eyes? I do not feel inclined to sleep.
Nor I. My spirits are nimble. They fell together all as by consent. They dropped as by a thunderstroke. Oh, what might, O worthy Sebastian, oh, what might! No more. And yet, methinks I see it in thy face, what thou shouldst be. The occasion speaks thee, and my strong imagination sees a crown dropping upon thy head.
What, art thou waking?
Do you not hear me speak?
Assuredly I do, and it is a sleepy language. Yet thou sayest out of thy sleep? 'Tis a strange repose, to be awaking, with eyes wide open, walking, moving, speaking, yet so fast asleep.
Noble Sebastian, thou let's thy fortune sleep. Die rather winks while thou art waking.
Thou dost snore distinctly. There's meaning in thy snores.
I am more serious than my custom, and you must be so too, if heed me, to do that which trebles the over.
Well, I am standing what?
I'll teach you how to flow.
Do so. To ebb, hereditary sloth instructs me.
Oh, if you but knew how you the purpose cherish while thus you mock it, how in stripping it you more invest it. Ebbing men indeed so too often near the bottom run by their own fear or sloth.
Prithee, say on. The setting of thine eye and cheek proclaim a purpose and a birth indeed, which throws thee much to yield.
Thus, sir, though this lord of weak remembrance, this, who shall be of as little memory when he is earth, hath here almost persuaded, for he's a spirit of persuasion, only professes to persuade. The king his son's alive. 'Tis as impossible that he's undrowned as he that sleeps here swims.
I have no hope that he's undrowned.
Oh, out of that no hope, what great hope have you? No hope one way is another way, so high a hope that even ambition cannot pierce a wink beyond, but doubt discovery there. Will you grant with me that Ferdinand is drowned?
He's gone.
Then tell me, who is the next heir of Naples?
Claribel.
She that is queen of Tunis, she that dwells 10 leagues beyond man's life, she that from Naples can have no note until the sun were post, the man in the moon's too slow, till newborn chains be rough and razorable, she that from whom we all were seed swallowed, though some cast again, and by that destiny to perform an act where what's past is prologue, what's to come in yours and my discharge.
Oh, how sayest thou? What is this? 'Tis true, my brother's daughter is queen of Tunis, and so is she heir of Naples. Twixt which regions there is some space.
A space whose every cubit seems to cry out, how shall that clan of bells measure us back to Naples? Keep in Tunis and let Sebastian wake. Say this were death that now hath seized them. Why, they were no worse than now they are. There be that can rule Naples as well as he that sleeps, lords who can prate as amply and unnecessarily as this Gonzalo. I myself could make a chuff of as deep chat. Oh, that you bore the mind that I do, what a sleep this were for your advancement. Do you understand me?
Methinks I do.
And how does your content tend to your own good fortune?
I do recall thou didst supplant your brother Prospero.
True, and look how well my garments sit upon me, much feeter than before. My brother's servants were then my fellows. Now they are my men.
But what of your conscience?
Sir, where lies that? If 'twere a kite, 'twould put me to my slipper, but I feel not this deity in my bosom. 20 consciences that stand twixt me and Milan, candy be they, and melt ere they molest. Here lies your brother, no better than the ground he lies upon. If he were, that now which he's like, that's dead, whom I with this obedient steel, 3 inches of it can lay to bed forever, while you, doing thus, to the perpetual wink I might put this ancient morsel, this Sir Prudence, who should not upbraid our course. For all the rest, they'll take the suggestion as the cat laps milk. They'll tell the clock to any business we say befits the hour.
Thy case, sir, shall be my precedent. Draw thy sword. As thou godst Milan, so shall I come by Naples. One stroke shall free thee from the tribute which thou payest, and I, the king, shall love thee.
Draw together, and when I rear my hand, do you the like to fall it on Alonso.
My master, through his art, foresees the danger that you, his friend, are in, and sends me forth to keep you living, or as his project dies. While you here to sleeping lie, open-eyed conspiracy. His time doth take, so of life you can shake off slumber's charm. Beware! Awake! Awake!
Nugget angels, preserve the king.
Why, how now? Ho, awake! Why are you drawn? Wherefore this ghastly looking?
What's the matter?
Whilst we were securing your repose, we heard a great bellowing, like bulls or lions. Did it not wake you? It struck mine ear most terribly.
I heard nothing.
Oh, it was a din to frighten the monster's ear, to make an earthquake. Surely it was the roaring of a whole pride of lions.
Heard you this, Gonzalo?
Upon mine honor, sir, I heard a humming, and a strange one too, that did wake me. I shrieked you, sir, and cried. As mine eyes opened, I saw their weapons drawn. There was a noise, that's verily. 'Tis best we stand upon our guard, or that we leave this place.
Lead off, and let's make further search for my poor son.
Heaven preserve him from these beasts, for he is surely in the isle.
Lead away.
Prospero, my lord, shall know what I have done. So, king, go safely on to seek thy son.
Oh, the infections that the sun sucks up from bogs, fens, flats, unprosper fall and make 'em by inch meal a disease. His spirits hear me, and yet I needs must curse. But they'll not pinch me, throw me in the mire, or lead me like a firebrand out of the dark, unless he bid 'em. But for every trifle they set upon me, sometimes like apes that mow and chatter to me, and after bite me, then like hedgehogs that lie in my barefoot way and prick at my footfall. Sometime am I all wound with adders, who do with cloven tongues hiss me into madness. Lo now, lo, here comes a spirit of his, and to torment me for bringing wood in slowly. I'll fall flat, but chance he will not mind me.
Here's neither bush nor shrub to bear if any weather at all. And another storm brewing, I hear it singing in the wind. Yon same black cloud, yon huge one, looks like a foul bombard that would shed his liquor. Should it thunder now as it did before, I know not where to hide my head. Yon same cloud cannot choose but fall by pailfuls. What have we here? Man or fish? Dead or alive? A fish. He smells like a fish, a very ancient and fish-like smell, a kind of not of the newest poor John, a strange fish, where in England now as I once was, and had this fish painted, not a holiday fool there would have given me a piece of silver. There would this monster make a man, any strange beast there makes a man. When he'll not give a doit to a lame beggar, he'll let 10 to see a dead Indian. Like a man? And fins like arms? Worm o' my troth, I do not let loose my opinion. Hold it no longer. This is no fish, this is an islander that has recently suffered by thunderstroke. Alas, the storm has come again. My best way is to creep under his gabardine. There is no other shelter hereabout. Misery acquaints a man with strange bedfellows, and I shall here shroud till the dregs of the storm be past.
I shall no more to sea, here I shall die ashore. This is a scurvy tune to sing at a man's funeral. Well, here's my comfort. The master, the swabber, the boatswain, and I, the gunner, and his mate, loved Moll and Meg and Marian and Marjorie, but none of us cared for Kate. For she had a tongue with a tang, would cry to a sailor, "Go hang!" She loved not the savor of tar nor pitch, though a tailor may scratch her where she did itch. So did sea boys, and let her go hang. This is a scurvy tune, too. But here's my comfort.
Do not torment me. Oh.
What is the matter? Have we devils here? Do you put tricks upon me with savages and men of Ind? I have not escaped drowning to be afeard now of your forelegs. For it hath been said, as proper a man ever went on 4 legs, cannot make him give ground. And it shall be said so again, while Stefano breathes at nostrils.
The spirit torments me. Oh.
This is some monster of the isle who has got, as I take it, an ague. Where the devil should he learn our language? Well, I will offer him some relief. If it be but for that, if I can recover him and keep him tame and get to Naples with him, he's as good a gift for any emperor who trod on neat's leather.
Do not torment me, prithee. I'll bring my wood home faster.
Oh, he's in his fit now, and it doesn't talk after the wisest. Well, he shall taste of my bottle. If he's never drunk wine afore, it'll go near to remove his fit. If I can recover him and keep him tame, I will not take much for him. He shall pay for him that hath him, and that soundly.
Thou dost me yet but little hurt. Thou wilt anon, I know it by thy trembling. Now prosper works upon thee.
Come on your ways. Open your mouth. This is that which will give language to you, cat. Open your mouth. This will shake your shaking. I can tell you that, and that soundly. Ugh, you can't tell who's your friend. Open your mouth, chaps, again.
I should know that voice. It should be, but he is drowned and these are devils. Oh, defend me.
4 legs and 2 voices. A most delicate monster. His forward voice is to speak well of his friend. His backward voice is to utter foul speeches and detract. If all the wine in my bottle will recover him, I will help his ague. Come. Amen. I shall pour some in thy other mouth.
Stefano!
Doth thy other mouth call me? Oh, mercy, mercy. These are devils and no monster. I will leave him. I have no long spoon.
Stefano, if thou be be a Stephano, touch me, and speak to me, for I am Trinculo. Do not be afeard, thy good friend Trinculo.
If thou beest Trinculo, come forth. I shall pull thee by thy lesser legs. If any be Trinculo's legs, these are they. Oh, thou art very Trinculo indeed. How camest thou to be the siege of this moon calf? Can he vent Trinculos?
I took and be killed by a thunderstroke, but thou art not drowned, Stephano. I hope that thou art not drowned. I hid me under a dead calf's gabardine for fear of the storm. But art thou living, Stephano? Oh, Stephano, to the above!
Prithee, do not turn me about. My stomach is not constant.
These be fine things, and if they be not sprites, that's a brave god and bear celestial liquor. I will kneel to him.
How did thou escape? How camest thou hither? Swear now, how camest thou hither? I escaped upon a butt of sack, which the sailors heaved overboard. I swear by this bottle now, which I made of the bark of a tree with mine own hands since I have been cast ashore.
I'll swear upon that bottle to be thy true subject, for the liquor is not earthly.
Swear now, how camest thou hither?
Swim ashore, man. I can swim like a duck, and I'll be sworn.
Here, kiss the book. Thou canst swim like a duck, but thou art made like a goose.
Oh, Stephano, hast thou any more of this?
The whole butt, man. My cellar is in a rock by the seaside where my wine is hid. How now, moon calf? How does thine ague?
Hast thou not dropped from heaven?
Ooh, out of the moon I do assure thee. I was the man in the moon when time was.
I have seen thee in her, and I do adore thee. My mistress showed me thee, and thy dog, and thy bush.
Amen. Swear to that. Kiss the book.
By this good light, this is a very shallow monster. I have feared him. A weak monster, the man in the moon, a poor, credulous monster. Well-drawn monster, in good sooth.
I'll show thee every fertile inch of the island, and I'll kiss thy foot. I prithee, be my god.
By this good light, this is a very perfidious and drunken monster. Once God's asleep, he'll rob his bottle.
I'll kiss thy foot. I'll swear myself thy subject.
Come on, then. Down and swear.
I shall laugh myself to death at this puppy-headed monster, a most scurvy monster, to make wonder of a poor drunkard.
Come, kiss.
But this monster's in drink, an abominable monster.
Let me bring thee where the best springs are, and I'll pluck for thee wild berries and fish for thee. I'll get thee wood enough. A plague upon the tyrant that I serve. I'll bear him no more sticks, but follow thee, thou wondrous man.
A most ridiculous monster. I could find it in my heart to beat him.
Let me bring thee where crabs grow, and I with my long nails will dig thee pig nuts, show thee a jay's nest, and instruct thee how to snare the nimble marmoset. I'll bring thee to clustering filberts, and sometimes I'll get the young scammels from the rock. Wilt thou go with me?
Prithee, lead the way, without any more talking. Trinculo, the king and all company, elsewise being drowned, we shall inherit here. Bear my bottle. Fellow Trinculo, we shall fill him by and by again.
Farewell, master, farewell, farewell.
A howling monster, a drunken monster.
No more dams I'll make for fish, nor fetch and fire ring, and requiring, nor scrape trenchering, nor wash dish, Caliban. As a new master, get a new man. Freedom, high day, freedom. Freedom, high day, freedom.
Oh, brave monster. Lead the way.
There be some sports are painful, and in their labor delight in them sets off. Some baseness is nobly undergone, and most poor matters point to rich ends. This my mean task would be as heavy to me as odious, but the mistress I serve quickens what's dead, and makes my labors pleasures. She's 10 times more gentle than her father's crabbed, and he's composed of harshness. I must remove some 1,000 of these logs and place them upon sore injunction. And my mistress weeps when she sees me work, and says such baseness had never like executor. But I forget, these sweet thoughts do even refresh the energy of my labors, most busy when I do it.
Alas now, pray you work not so hard. I would the lightning had burnt up those logs that you were enjoined to pile. Pray set it down and rest you. When this burns, 'twill weep for having wearied you. My father is hard at study. Pray rest yourself. He's safe for these 3 hours.
No, sweet mistress, the sun will set before I discharge what I have set to do.
If you'll sit down, I'll bear your logs the while. Pray give me that. I'll carry it to the pile.
I had rather crack my sinews, break my back, than you should such dishonor go while I sit lazy by.
It will become me as well as it does you, and I should do it with much more ease, for my goodwill is to it, and yours it is against.
Poor girl, thou art infected. This visitation shows it.
You look warily.
No, sweet mistress, it's early morning for me, when you are by at night. I do ask you, chiefly that I might set it in my prayers, what is your name?
Miranda. Oh, my father, I've broken your hest to say so.
Miranda. Admired Miranda, indeed the top of admiration. Many a time have I eyed a lady, and many a time hath the virtue of their tongue brought into bondage my too diligent ear. For several virtues have I liked several women, none with so full soul that some defect in them did quarrel with the noblest grace she owed and put it to the foil. But you, oh, you are made of every creature's best.
I do not know one of my sex. No woman's face remembers, save from the glass mine own. Nor have I seen more that I may call men than you, good friend. And my dear father, how features are abroad I am skilless of, but by my modesty the jewel in my dower. I would not wish any companion in the world but you, nor can imagination form a shape besides yourself to like of. But I prattle something too wildly, and my father's precepts I therein do forget.
I am, in my condition, a prince, Miranda. I do think a king. I would not, and would no more endure this wooden slavery than the flesh fly blow my mouth. Hear me speak. The very instant I saw you did my heart fly to your service, and there resides to make me slave to it. And for your sake am I this patient log man.
Do you love me?
Oh, heaven! Oh, earth! Hear what I pronounce with kind event. If I speak true, if hollowly, invert what best bodes me to mischief, I, above all else in the world, do love, prize, honor you.
I am a fool to weep at what I am glad of.
Fair encounter of two most rare affections. Heavens rain grace on that which breeds between them.
Wherefore weep you?
At mine unworthiness, that dare not offer what I desire to give, and much less take what I shall die to want. But this is trifling, and the more it seeks to hide itself, the bigger bulk it shows. Hence, bashful cunning, and prompt me, plain and holy innocence. I am your wife, if you will marry me. If not, I'll die your maid. To be your fellow you may deny me, but I'll be your servant whether you will or no.
My mistress, dearest, and I thus humble ever.
My husband, then?
I, with a heart as willing as bondage ever of freedom. Here's my hand.
And mine in it. And now, farewell, till half an hour hence.
1,000,000!
So glad of this as they I cannot be, who am surprised withal, but my rejoicing at nothing can be more. I'll to my book, for yet a separate time must I perform much business appertaining.
It's too easy.
Tell not me, when the butt is out, we'll drink water, but not a drop before. Therefore, bear up in boredom. Servant monster, drink to me.
Servant monster, the folly of this isle. They say there's but 5 upon this island. We are 3. If the other 2 be brained like us, the state totters.
Drink, servant monster, when I bid thee. Thine eyes are almost set in thine head.
Where else would they be set? He'd be a brave monster indeed if they were set in his tail.
Oh, my mad monster hath drowned his tongue in sack. For my part, the sea cannot drown me. I swam, ere I could recover the shore, 35 leagues off and on again by this light. Thou shalt be my lieutenant, servant monster. Perhaps my standard.
Your lieutenant, if you list, he's no standard.
Won't run, monster?
Nor go neither. Yet you lie like dogs, and yet say nothing neither.
Speak, mooncalf, for once in thine life, if thou beest a good mooncalf.
How does thy noble lord? Let me lick thy shoe. I'll not serve him, he's not valiant.
Thou liest, most ignorant monster. I'm in case to Justilla Constable. Why, thou debauched fish, thou. Was there ever a man, a coward, that had drunk as much sack as I today? Wilt thou tell a monstrous lie, being but half fish and half monster?
Lo, how he mocks me. Wilt thou let him, my lord?
Lord, quoth he, that a monster should be such a natural.
Lo, bite him to death, I prithee.
Trinculo, do not trouble this monster any further. If thou purpose to be a mutineer, the next tree. This monster is my subject, and he shall suffer no indignity.
I thank my noble lord. Wilt thou be pleased to hearken once again to the suit I made to thee?
Marry, I will. Kneel nor repeat it. I shall stand, and so shall Trinculo.
Why, as I told thee before, I am subject to a tyrant, a sorcerer, that by his cunning hath cheated me of the island.
Thou liest.
Thou liest, thou jesting monkey, thou. I would my valiant master would destroy thee. I do not lie.
Trinculo, trouble this monster in his tail one more time, and by this hand I shall supplant some of your teeth.
Why, what did I do?
Mum, then, and no more. Proceed.
I say that he got this island by sorcery. From me he got, if thy greatness will, revenge it on him. For I know thou darest, but this thing dare not.
That's most certain.
Thou shalt be lord of it, and I'll serve thee.
How now shall this be compassed? Canst thou bring me to the party?
Yea, my lord. I'll yield him thee asleep, where thou mayst knock a nail into his head.
Thou liest, thou mayst not.
What a pidnin is this, thou scurvy patch? I beseech thy greatness, give him blows and take his bottle away from him. When that's gone, he'll drink naught but brine, for I'll not show him where the quick freshes are.
Trinculo, run into no further danger. Interrupt this monster one more time in his tail, and by this hand I shall turn my mercy out the door and make a stockfish of thee.
Why, what did I? I'll go further off.
Did thou not say he liest?
Thou liest.
Do I so? Take thou that. As you like it, give me the lie another time.
I did not give the lie. Out of your wits and hearing too. A pox on your bottle. This can sack and drinking too. A marade on your monster, and the devil take your fingers.
Now, forward with your tail. Prithee, stand further off.
Beat him enough. After a little while, I'll come and beat him too.
Stand farther. Yeah. Now, proceed.
Why, as I told thee before, 'tis a custom of his in the afternoon to sleep. There thou mayst brain him, having first seized his books, or batter his skull with a log, or punch him with a stick, or cut his weasand with thy knife. Be sure to seize his books first, for without them he's but a sot, as I am, nor hath not one spirit to command. They all do hate him as rootedly as I. burn but his books. He has brave utensils, for so he calls them, with that when he has a house he'll deck withal. And that, most deeply to consider, is the beauty of his daughter. I never saw a woman but Sycorax, my dam, and she. But she as far surpasseth Sycorax, as greatest does least.
Is it so, a brave lass?
Aye, my lord, she'll become thy bed, I warrant, and bring thee forth a brave brood.
Monster, I will kill this man. His daughter and I shall be king and queen, save our graces. And yourself and Trinculo shall be viceroys. Dost thou like the plot, Trinculo?
Excellent.
Here, come, give me thy hand. I am sorry I beat thee, but while thou livest, keep a good tongue in thy head.
Within this half hour wilt he be asleep. Wilt thou destroy him then?
Aye, on my honor.
This I will tell my master.
Thou makest me merry. I am full of pleasure. Let us be jocund. Wilt you troll the catch that you taught me but while?
At thy request, monster. I will do reason, any reason. Fellow Trinculo, let us sing. Flat 'em and count 'em and scat 'em and flat 'em. Thought is free.
That's not the tune.
What is the same?
This is the tune of our catch played by the picture of nobody.
If thou beest a man, show thyself in thy likeness. If thou beest a devil, takest thou list.
Oh, forgive my sins.
He who dies repays all debts, but I defy thee. Have mercy upon us.
Art thou afeard?
No, monster, I am not.
Be not afeard. The isle is full of strange noises and sweet airs, things that give delight and hurt not. Why, sometimes 1,000 twangling instruments will hum about mine ears, and voices that, if I then had waked after long sleep, will make me sleep again. And then, in dreaming, the clouds methought would open, with riches untold ready to fall upon me, that when I waked, I cried to dream again.
Well, this shall prove a brave kingdom to me, where I shall get my music for nothing.
When Prospero is destroyed.
This shall be by and by. I remember the tale.
The music is going away. Quick, let us follow, and after do our work.
Lead, monster. We'll follow. I bet I could see the stabber. He lays it on. Wilt come?
I'll follow, Stefano.
Barlakin, I can go no further. My old bones aches. Here's a maze trod through forthrights and meanders. By your patience, I must rest me.
Old Lord, I cannot blame thee, who am myself attached with weariness to the dulling of my spirits. Sit down and rest. Even here, I can keep hope no more for my flatterer. He is drowned, whom thus we stray to find, and the sea mocks our frustrate search on land.
I am right glad that he is so out of hope. Do not, for one repulse, forego the purpose you swore to effect.
The next opportunity shall we take thoroughly.
Let it be tonight, for now they are oppressed with travel. They will not, nor cannot use such vigilance as when they are fresh.
I say tonight, no more.
What harmony is this? My good friends, hark.
Marvelous, sweet music.
Give us kind keepers, heavens, what were these?
A living drollery. Now I will believe that there are unicorns, that in Arabia, and one phoenix reigning there on his throne, the prince of it.
I'll believe both. And what else want credit come to me, and I'll be sworn 'tis true. Travelers ne'er did lie, though fools at home condemn them.
If I were to say I saw such islanders, for certes these are surely people of the island. Though their shapes are monstrous, yet note their manners are more gentle, more kind than of our human generation. You will find many, nay, almost any.
Honest Lord, thou hast said well, for some of you here present are worse than devils.
I cannot too much muse, such shape, such gesture, and such sound, expressing, though they want the use of tongue, a kind of excellent dumb discourse.
Praise in departing.
They vanished strangely.
Well, no matter, for they left their viands behind, and we have stomachs. Wilt thou not taste what is here, good Lord?
Not I.
Faith, sir, you need not fear. Who would believe when we were boys that there were such mountaineers dewlapped like bulls whose throats had hanging at 'em wallets of flesh, or that there were such men whose heads stood in their breasts? For now each putter out of 5, for one will give good warrant of.
I will stand to and feed, although it may be my last, for I feel the best is past. Brother, my lord the Duke, stand to and do as we.
You are 3 men of sin, whom destiny that hath to instrument this lower world, and what is in it, the never surfeited sea, hath caused to belch you up, and on this isle where man doth not inhabit, you mongst men, being most unfit to live, I have made him mad, and even with such like valor, men hang and drown their proper selves. I and my fellows are ministers of Fiat, the elements of whom your swords are tempered, may as well wound the howling winds, or with oft bemocked at stabs, kill the still closing waters, as diminish one thread that's in my robe. If you could hurt, your swords are now too mighty for your strength, and will not be uplifted. But remember, for that's my duty to you, that you 3 from the land did supplant good Prospero, exposed unto the sea which hath requited him and his innocent child, for which foul deed the pause, delaying, not forgetting, having sent to seas and shores, yea, all the creatures against your peace, and do pronounce by me lingering perdition, worse than any death could be at once, shall step by step attend you and your ways, whose wraths to guard you from, for else in this most desolate hour falls upon your heads, is nothing but a hot sorrow and a clear life ensuing.
Bravely the figure of this harpy hast thou performed, my Ariel, a grace it had, devouring. Of my instruction hast thou nothing bated in what thou hadst to say. So with good life and observation strange, my meaner ministers their several kinds have done. My high charms work, and these mine enemies are all knit up in their distractions. They are all now in my power, and in these fits I leave them, whilst to go to visit young Ferdinand, whom they suppose is drowned, and his and mine loved darling.
In the name of something holy, sir, why stand you in this strange stare?
Oh, it is monstrous, monstrous. Methought the billows spoke and told me of it. The winds did sing it to me, and the thunder, that deep and dreadful organ pipe, did pronounce the name of Prosper. It did base my trespass. Therefore my son in the ooze is bedded, and I shall seek him deeper than ere plummet sounded, and with him there lie muddied.
All fight their legions all, but one fiend at a time!
I'll be thy second! All three of them are desperate. Their great guilt, like poison given to work a great time after, gins to bite at their spirits. I beseech you, that are of suppler joints, follow them swiftly, and hinder them from what this ecstasy may provoke them now to.
Follow me, I pray you.
If I have to austerely punish you, your compensation makes amends, for I have here given you a third of mine own life, or that for which I live, which once again I tender to thy hand. All of thy vexations were but my trials of thy love. Thou hast strangely stood the test. Here before heaven I ratify this thy rich gift. Ferdinand, do not smile at me that I boast of her, for you shall find she shall outstrip all grace and make it halt behind her.
I do believe it against an oracle.
Then, as my gift and thine own acquisition worthily purchased, take thou my daughter. But if thou dost break her virgin knot before all sanctimonious ceremonies may with full and holy rite be ministered, no sweet aspersion shall the heavens let fall to make thy contract grow. But a barren hate, sour-eyed disdain, and discord shall bestrew the union of your bed with weeds so loathly you shall hate it both. Therefore take heed, and Hymen's lamps shall light you.
As I wish for good days, fair issue, and long life, with such love as 'tis now the murkiest den, the strangest place, the strongest suggestion, our worser genius shall never melt mine honor into lust, to take away the edge of that day's celebration, when I shall think, or Phoebe's steeds lay foundered, or night lay chained below.
Fairly spoke. Sit then and talk with her. She is thine own. What? Ariel, my industrious servant, Ariel.
What would my potent master? Here I am.
Ariel, thou and thy meaner fellows your last service did worthily perform, and I must use you in such another trick. Go, bring the rabble over whom I give you power here to this place. Set them to a quick motion, for I must bestow upon the eyes of this young couple a vanity of mine art. It is my promise, and they expect it from me.
Presently?
Aye, with a twink.
Oh, before you can say, come and go and breathe twice and cry, so, each one tripping on his toe, will be here with mop and mow. Does master love me? No?
Dearly, my delicate Ariel, do not approach till thou dost hear my call.
Well, I conceive.
Look thou be true. Do not give dalliance so much the rein. The strongest oaths are straw to the fire in the blood. Be more abstemious, or else good night your vow.
I warrant you, sir, the white cold virgin snow upon my heart abates the ardor of my liver.
Well, approach, my Ariel. Bring a corollary rather than want a spirit. Appear, and pertly. No tongue, all eyes, be silent.
This laity of rich lees, of wheat, rye, barley, vetches, oats, and peas, on truffly mountains where live nibbling sheep, flat mead, thatched with stover, them to keep, on banks with veiled and twilled brims, of which spongy April let thy vast be trims, cold nymphs, chaste crowns in thy broom grooves, which the shadow of the dismissed bachelor loves, thy last lorn and pole-clipped vineyard, thy sea marge, sterile and rocky hard, where thyself dost err of the queen of the sky, whose watery ark and messenger am I, bids thee leave thee of her sovereign grace, here in this grass plot, in this very place, to come and to support her peacock's fly amid a Preshow series, her to entertain.
Hail, many-colored messenger that ne'er doth disobey the wife of Jupiter, whose saffron wings upon my flowers diffusest honey drops, refreshing showers, and with each end of thy blue bow dost crown my bosky acres, my unshrubbed down, rich scarf to my proud earth. Why hath thy queen summoned me hither to this short-grassed green?
A contract of true love to celebrate, and donations to freely estate on the blessed lovers.
Tell me, heavenly bow, if Venus or her son, as thou dost know, do now attend the queen? For they didst plot the means that dusky Dis, my daughter, got. Her and her blind boy's scandaled company I have forsworn.
Of her society be not afraid. I have met her deity cutting clouds with Paphos, and her son doth drawn with her the thought they have done. Some wanton charm upon the man and maid, whose vow is no bedright shall be paid, till Hymen's torch is lighted, but in vain. Mars's hot minion is returned again. Her waspish-headed son has broke all of his arrows, swears he will shoot no more, but plays with sparrows, and be a boy right out.
Highest queen of state, great Juno comes, I know her by her gait.
How does my bounty assist her? Let us go and bless this twain, that they may be prosperous and honored in all their issue. Honor, riches, marriage, blessings, long continuous and increasing, hourly joys be still upon you. Juno sings her blessings on you.
Earth's increase, foys in plenty, barns and garners never empty, vines with clustering bunches, growing plants with heavy burden bowing. Spring comes to you at the farthest in this very end of harvest. Scarcity and want shall shun you. Ceres' blessing so is on you.
This is a wondrous vision, and charmingly harmonious. Am I bold to think these spirits?
Spirits, which by mine art I have called forth from their confines to enact my present fancies.
Let me live here ever. Such a wondered father and a wise makes this place paradise.
Sweet now, silence. Juno and Ceres whisper seriously. There's something else to do. Hush and be mute, else our spell is marred.
You nymphs called naiads of windering brooks, with your sedged crowns and ever harmless looks, leave your crisp channels on this fairy land. Answer your summons, Juno does command. Come, temperate nymphs, and help to celebrate a contract of true love. Be not too late. You sunburned sicklemen of August weary, come hither from your furrow and be merry. Make holiday your rye straw hats put on. Fresh nymphs encounter everyone in country footing.
I'd almost forgot the foul conspiracy of Caliban and his companions against my life. The hour of their plot is almost come. Well done, avoid, away, no more.
This is strange. Your father speaks in some fury that works him hardly.
Never to this day I saw him angered, so distempered.
You do look, my son, in a mood heart as if you were dismayed. Be cheerful, sir. Our revels now are ended, and these are actors, as I foretold you, were spirits, and are vanished into air, into thin air. And like the baseless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, all which it inherit shall dissolve. And like this insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a rack behind. For we are such things as dreams are made of. Your little life is rounded with a sleep. Sir, I am vexed. Bear with my weakness. My old brain is troubled. Be not disturbed with my infirmity. If you please, retire unto my cell, and there repose. A turn or two I'll take to still my beating mind.
We wish you peace.
Come with a thought, I thank thee, Ariel, come.
Thy thoughts I cleave to. What's thy pleasure?
Spirit, we must prepare to meet with Caliban.
Aye, my commander, I thought to have told you of it when I presented Ceres, but I refrained fearing I might anger thee.
Say again where thou didst leave those varlets.
I told you, sir, they were red hot with drinking, so full of valor that they smote the air, for breathing and their faces beat the ground, for kissing of feet, yet always bending towards their purpose. Then I blew my pipes, and they pricked their ears, advanced their eyelids, lifted their noses, for they smelt music, so that calf-like they my lowing followed through thick furzes, pricking gorse, and thorns, which entered their poor frail shins, until I left them in that filthy pool outside your cell, up to their necks, dancing in that foul swamp which overstinks their feet.
'Twas well done, my bird. Thy shape invisible retain thou still. The trumpery in my house bring hither for stale to catch these as thieves.
I go.
A devil, a devil, on whose nurture never can stick, on whom my pains, humanly taken, are all lost, quite lost. For as with age his body uglier grows, so his mind cankers. I will plague them all, even to roaring. Yes, come, hang them on this line.
Pray you, tread softly, that the blind mole may not hear our footfall. We are now near his cell.
Monster, your fairy, which you claim is a harmless fairy, has done a little better than play the jack with us.
Monster, I do smell a horse piss, at which my nose is in great indignation.
As is mine. Do you hear, monster? If I should take any displeasure against you, look you.
Thou wert but a lost monster.
Good my lord, give me thy favor still, for the prize I'll bring you to shall hoodwink this mischance. Therefore, speak softly. All's hushed as midnight yet.
Aye, but to lose our bottles in the pool?
There is not only disgrace and dishonor in that monster, but an infinite loss.
That's more to me than my wetting, and yet this is your harmless fairy monster.
I should go fetch off my bottle, though I be o'er ears for my labor.
Pray you, my king, be quiet. Seest thou here? This is the mouth of the cell. Do that good mischief, which may make this island thine own forever, and I thy Caliban, for I thy footlicker.
Come, give me thy hand. I do begin to have bloody thoughts.
Oh, King Stephano. Oh, peer, oh, worthy Stephano, look at what a wardrobe is for thee.
Let it alone, thou fool. It is but trash.
Oh, monster, but we know what belongs in a frippery. Oh, King Stephano.
Put off that gown. By this hand, I shall have that gown.
Your grace shall have it.
The dropsy drowned this fool. What do you mean thus to dote such on this luggage? Let it alone and do the murder first. If he awake, from crown to toe he'll fill us with pinches, make us into strange stuff.
Quiet, you monster. Mistress Line, is this not my jerkin? Now is this jerkin not under the line? Now, jerkin, thou art like to lose your hair and prove to be a bald jerkin.
Do. We steal by line and level. Ain't it right, your grace?
I thank thee for the jest. Here, have the garment for it. Wits shall not go unrewarded while I am king of this country. Steal a lap by line and level. What an excellent passive pate. Here's another for it.
Monster, come put some lime on your fingers and away with the rest.
I will have none of it. We shall lose our time, and all be turned into barnacles, or apes with foreheads villainous low.
Monster, bear that away where my hogshead of wine is hid, else I should turn you out of my kingdom. Carry that, and this, whatever else I find.
Hey, mountain, hey!
Silver, she roars!
Fury, fury there, tyrant, hark, hark. Go, charge my goblins that they grind their joints with dry convulsions, shorten their sinews with aged cramps, more pin-spotted make them than pard or cat to mountain.
Hark, they roar!
Let them be hunted soundly. At this hour lies at my mercy all of mine enemies. Shortly shall my project cease, and then thou shalt have thy freedom. For a little, follow and do me good service. At length my project gathers to a head, my charms crack not, my spirits obey, and time goes upright in its carriage. How is the day?
Past the 6th hour, at which time, sir, you said our labors would cease.
I did say so when I first raised the Tempest. Say, Spirit, how fares the king and his followers?
Oh, sir, confined together in the same manner as you gave charge. In the lion grove which where the fences sell, the king, his brother, and yours abide all three distracted, and the remainder mourning over them. But chiefly, sir, him that you termed the good old Lord Gonzalo. Oh, his tears run down his face like winter's drops from eaves of reeds. Your charm so strongly works him that were you to behold him yourself, your affections would become tender.
Dost thou think so, Spirit?
Mine would, were I human.
And mine shall. Hast thou which art but e'er a touchy filling of their afflictions, and show not myself one of their kind that relish all sharply passion as they, be kindlier moved than thou art? Yet with their higher wrongs I am struck to the quick, yet with my nobler reason against my fury do I take part. Their action is in virtue than in vengeance. They being thus penitent, though drift to my purpose does not extend, not a frown further. Go, or release them, Ariel. Their charms I'll break, their senses I'll restore, and they shall be themselves.
I'll free them, sir.
O you elves of hills, brooks, standing lakes and groves, and you who on the sand with printless foot do chase the ebbing Neptune, and do fly him when he comes back. You that by moonshine do the green sour ringlets make, whereof the yew not bites. In you whose purpose it is to make midnight mushrooms, that are to hear the solemn curfew, by whose aid, weak masters though you be, I have bedimmed the noontide sun, called forth the mutinous winds, and twixt the green sea and the azure vault have I set roaring war. To the dread rattling thunder have I given fire, and rifted Jove's stout oak with his own bolt. The strong base promontory have I made shake, and by the spurs dost I pluck up the pines and cedars. Graves at my command have waked their sleepers oped, and let them forth by my so potent art. But this rough magic I now here abjure, that when I have even required some heavenly music, which even now I do, to work might end upon their senses that this airy charm is for. I'll break my staff, bury it certain fathoms deep in the earth, deeper than it ever plummet sound, I'll drown my book. A solemn air, and the best comfort to an unsettled fancy, cure thy brains, now boiled within thy skull. There stand, for you are spell stopped. Holy Gonzalo, honorable man, mine eyes, insociable to show of thine, fall fellowly drops. The charm dissolves apace, and like the sun rises upon the night, melting the darkness, so do their rising senses begin to chase away the fumes that mantle their clearer reason. O good Gonzalo, my noble preserver and loyal sir, to him thou followest, I will pay thy vows back both in word and deed. Most cruelly didst thou, Alonso, use me and my daughter. Thy brother was a furtherer in the act. Thou art pinched for it now, Sebastian. Flesh and blood, you, brother mine, that entertained ambition, explode remorse and nature, who, with Sebastian, whose inward pinches are therefore most strong, would here have killed your king, I do forgive thee, unnatural though thou art. The understanding begins to swell, and the approaching tide will shortly fill the shore that now lies foul and muddy. Now one of them that yet looks on me would know me. Ariel, fetch me my ducal robe from within my cell. I will discase me and myself present as I was once sometime, Milan. A quickly, spirit, thou shalt ere long be free.
Where the bee sucks, there suck I, in a cow's lips where I lie. There I couch when owls do cry, on the bat's back do I fly. After summer merrily, merrily shall I live now, on the blossom that hangs on the bough.
'Twas well done, my Ariel. I shall miss thee, but yet thou shalt have thy freedom. So, to the kingship invisible as thou art, there thou shalt find the mariners asleep under the hatches, the master and the boatswain being awake, and force them to come to this place. And presently, I prithee.
All torment, trouble, wonder, and amazement inhabits here. Some heavenly being lead us from this fearful country.
Behold, Sir King, the wronged Duke of Milan, Prospero. From archery and such a living prince does now speak to you, I do here embrace of your body, and to you and your companions I bid a most hearty welcome.
Where thou beest here, no, I not know. Thy pulse beats as of flesh and blood, and when I looked at your eyes, the affliction of my mind amends, with which I fear a madness held me. This must crave, and if this be all, a most strange story. Thy dukedom I resign, and I ask you to pardon me my wrongs. But how should Prospero be living and be here?
First, noble friend, I shall embrace thine age, which shall not be not be restricted or confined.
Whether this be or not be, I'll not swear.
You do yet taste of some subtleties of the isle that will not allow you to believe things certain. Welcome, my friends all, but you, my brace of lords, for I, so minded, I here could pluck his highness's frown upon you and justify you traitors. At this time I will tell no tales.
The devil speaks in him.
No, for you, most wicked sir, whom to call brother would even infect my mouth, I forgive thy rankest fault, all of them, and require my dukedom of thee, which perforce I now know thou must restore.
If thou beest Prospero, give us the particulars of thy preservation, how thou hast met us here, whom 3 hours since were racked upon this shore, and I lost, how sharp the point of this remembrance is, my dear son Ferdinand.
I am woe for it, sir.
Irreparable is the loss, and patience says it is past her cure.
I sometimes think you have not sought her help, of whose sovereign aid for the like lost I have her soft aid and rest myself content.
You like the loss?
As great to me as late and supportable have I means to make the loss much bearable to me than you may call upon to comfort you, for I have lost my daughter.
A daughter. Oh heavens, that they were both living in Naples, the king and queen there. When did you lose your daughter?
In this last Tempest. I perceive the authorities at this encounter do admire so much that they devour their reason, scarce think their eyes do offices of truth, their words are natural breath. But howsoe'er you have been just told from your senses, know that I am Prospero, that Duke thrust forth from Milan, who strangely upon this shore, wherein thou wast wrecked, was landed to be the Lord on it. No more yet of this, for 'tis a chronicle of day by day, not one befitting breakfast nor this first meeting. Welcome, sir. This cell's my court. Here have I few attendants, and subjects none abroad. I pray you, look in. My dukedom, since you have given me again, I here replace you with as good a thing, is something as much to content you as much as me, my dukedom.
Sweet Lord, you play me false.
No, my love, I would not for the world.
Yes, for a score of kingdoms you should wrangle, and I would call it fair play.
If this should prove to be a vision of the island, one dear son shall I twice lose.
A most high miracle.
Though the seas threaten, I have cursed them too hurriedly.
All the blessings of a glad father compass thee about. Arise, and say how thou hast camest here.
Oh, wonder! How many goodly creatures are there here? How beauteous mankind is! Oh, brave new world that hath such people in it!
Yes, it is new to thee.
What is this maid with whom you were at play? Is she the goddess that hath severed us and brought us thus together?
Sir, she is mortal, but by immortal providence she is mine. I chose her when I could not ask my father his advice, nor thought I had one. She is the daughter of this famous Duke of Milan, of whom I've heard much renown, but have never seen before. She makes him a second father to me.
I am hers, but oh, how oddly will it sound that I must ask my child forgiveness.
There, sir, stop. Let us not burden our remembrance with the heaviness that's gone.
I have inly wept, or should have e'er spoke this. Look down, you gods, and on this couple drop a blessed crown, for it is you who hath chalked the way that has brought us forth.
I say amen, Gonzalo.
Was Milan thrust from Milan, that his issue should become kings of Naples? Oh, rejoice beyond a common joy, and place it down with gold on lasting pillars. In one voyage did Claribel her husband find at Tunis? Did Ferdinand, her brother, find a wife where he himself was lost? And Prospero, his dukedom in this poor isle, and we ourselves, when we were not our own?
Give me your hands. Let grief and sorrow embrace the heart that doth not wish you joy.
Be it so, amen. Oh, look, sir, look, here are more of us. I prophesied, if there were a gallows on land, that this fellow could not drown. Now blasphemy, which swearest grace o'erboard. Have you no mouth by land? What is the news?
The best news is that we have safely found our king and company. The next, our ship, which from 3 glasses since we gave our split, is tight and yar and bravely rigged as when we first put out to sea.
So all this service have I done since I went?
My tricksy spirit.
These are not natural events. They strengthen from strange to stranger. Say, how camest thou hither?
If we were wide awake, sir, I would strive to tell you, but we were all dead of sleep, and I don't know how, but clapped under hatches, with strange and several noises of howling, roaring, shrieking, jingling chains, and more diversity of sounds, all horrible. We were awakened straightway at liberty, where we beheld our royal good and gallant ship, our master capering to eye her, on a thrice, but even in a dream we were divided, and brought mopping hither.
Was it well done?
Bravely, thou shalt ere long be free.
This is as strange a maze as e'er men trod, and in this business more than nature was ever conduct of. Some oracle must rectify our knowledge.
Sir, my liege, Do not infest your mind with beating upon the strangeness of this business, for at picked leisure which shall be shortly, single I'll resolve you, which you shall seem probable, of every one of these happened accidents. Till then, be cheerful and think of each thing well. Come hither, spirit. Untie Caliban and his companions. Set free of the spell.
I breathe the air before me and return, or ere your pulse beat twice.
How fares my gracious sir? There are some yet missing of your company, some 2 odd lads whom you remember not.
Let every man shift for all the rest, and let no man take for himself, for all is but fortune. Coraggio, bully monster, coraggio.
If these be true spies which I wear in my head, here's a godly sight.
Oh, Setebos, what brave sprites these be. Oh, how fine my master is. I am afraid he will punish me.
What things are these? Can money buy them, Lord Antonio?
Very like. One is a plain fish, and no doubt is marketable.
Mark but the badges of these men, my lords, and say if this be true. This foul thing, his mother was a witch, and one so strong that could control the moon, make flows and ebbs, deal in her command without her power. These 3 have robbed me, and this demi-devil, for he's a bastard one, had conspired with them to take my life. 2 of these men you must know and own. This thing of darkness I acknowledge is mine.
I shall be pinched to death.
Is this not Stefano, my drunken butler?
It is so, and he is drunk too. Where had he wine?
And Trinculo is reeling ripe. Say, how camest thou in this pickle?
I've been in this pickle since I last saw you, that I fear me will never out of my bones. I shall not fear fly a-blowing.
What? How now, Stefano?
Oh, touch me not. I am not Stefano. I am but a cramp.
You'd be the king of the Isle, Sirrah?
I should have been a poor one at that.
This is as strange a thing as I e'er looked upon.
He is as misshapen in his shape as he is in his manners. Go, Sirrah, to my cell. Take with you your companions. As you look to have my favor, trim it most handsomely.
Aye, that I will. And I'll be wise hereafter and seek for grace. Oh, what a thrice double ass was I to take this drunkard for a fool and worship this God.
Go to, away.
Hence, and bestow your luggage where you found it.
Or stole it, rather.
Sir, I invite you and your train here to my poor cell. You shall spend this one night, which part of it I'll waste with such discourse as I doubt not, to make it go swiftly by. The story of my life, and happened accidents since I came to this isle. And in the morn, I'll take you to your ship, and so to Naples, where I have hoped to see the wedding of this dearly beloved couple solemnized. And thence I retire me to my Milan, where every third thought will be of my grave.
I long to hear the story of your life, which must take the ear strangely.
I will deliver all, and promise thee calm seas, auspicious gales, and so expeditious that you will catch your fleet far off. Ariel, chick, that is thy charge. Then to the winds be free, and fare you well. Please you, draw near. Now my charms are all o'erthrown. What strength I have left mine own, which is most faint. Now it is true, I must here be confined by you, or sent to Naples. Let me not, since I have my dukedom got, and pardoned my deceiver dwell in this bare island by thy spell. But release me from my bands with the help of your good hands. Gentle breast of yours my sails must fill, or else my project fails, which was to please, but now I want spirits to enforce, art to enchant. But my ending is despair, unless I be relieved by prayer, which pierces that it assaults mercy itself and frees all faults. as you from crimes would pardoned be, let your indulgence set me free.